Hey guys, how's it going? So we're gonna try to get this go-kart finished up. We got 2 videos on it already of bringing it back to life, and on the last one we ended up swapping the engine out because the engine that was on it had a cracked gas tank and some other issues. I did not have a spare for it. There it is over there. And it was on the smaller side. I believe it was a 5-horse. It's not a Briggs. It comes with a Briggs pull start on it. But the gas tank was no good. So we went back in the stash and found a more suitable engine, a little bit more horsepower, because we put a slightly larger tire on there. So hopefully the 2 of those kind of work themselves out. But it's up, it runs, but now we just have to fine tune and finish all the bits and pieces. One is the float bowl seal is leaking. We'll just go pop that down, take care of it. We want to pull the cover off. You can see there's a nest of sorts still inside there. So we'll get the cover off, disconnect the governor, hook up the throttle, and just give it a good general once over. We need the kill switch hooked up, throttle hooked up. I think the brakes work, but we want to look at them and whatever else we find as we get into it. So without further ado, let's start. All right, let's see if we can get this cover off. That way. I already took the 1 screw out of the back. It's got 2 more up here. Got 1, 2, 3, should be 4. See if I get the pull start off. Let's see if we can pull that guy off of there. Yeah, I'd say there's a nest in there, huh? That might need some cleaning. I'm gonna go glove up, got a garbage can, and dig some of that crap out of there. And might as well dig further. Kinda wanna get rid of the governor arm anyway. We're not gonna use any of that. So all this can kinda go away. But under this tin there's still some issues. These are coming out. Now that I said that, I'll snap the rest of them off. So I gotta get the governor arm off. Rightfully, we should tear it apart, split the case, and take the governor internally out, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's see. Pry that guy off of there. Like that. What's holding us? Ground wire? Burned up, a mouse-eaten ground wire, I should say. Nothing left of that, huh? That's supposed to have shielding on it all the way around. And I might as well just blow that out, vacuum that out. Removing the muffler is the next step. Do I need to move the muffler? I think so. I think it wraps around it. Nope, I might be able to get it out of there. The sweet smell of mouse nest. I like to leave that plug in there until I get it out of there, but if I have to, I just don't want the crap going down inside. There we go. Just bend it out of the way. Now we're in. I definitely say they filled up that cavity, huh? That's a little better. So this wire right here is supposed to be your kill. This is your kill wire for spark. Ground it out, stops the magneto from having any spark and stops her dead. Throttle is just going to be that lever, and this is the governor. Internally has a set of like wing weights and a sprocket that is connected to, it runs off the camshaft. So they have a set of weights in there, and what happens is if you over rev them, they expand and it actually kind of blows itself apart, and then the pieces that blow itself apart then take out the rest of the engine. So that's the issue with leaving that stuff in there. I don't feel like tearing it down right now, but just kind of watch the rip them for a bit. We'll be okay. At some point in the future, if we stay with this engine, we'll get into that, but for now we're just trying to get it so we can have some fun on the thing. So I don't know if we are going to go back. We're probably going to go put that plate back on there because that's our mount for the gas tank, and of course the pull start. Throttle, we have this cable coming up. I'll show you guys can see. We have this cable coming up from the gas pedal. It goes from this pedal here, metal rod, and all it does is it just ties on to that rod. The rod's got a return spring right there, and then it's just regular like a bicycle cable going up. So we could change the length of that if need be, probably be. So I'd say I'm going to take care of the float ball first, take that off, and we'll start putting some pieces back on it and figure out how we're going to go set up our throttle. I think it was just the bowl seal is rolled. Not sure of that though. Last time we were running it, it was dribbling out around it. I don't feel anything. I'm gonna go get myself a light and go inspect that a little closer. That just feels like a very poor seal, like it's not even big enough to make contact all the way around. Let me go look and see what else would I have. Actually, you know what we have? We have the other carburetor that came off this. Maybe we can go steal it from that. And maybe we just peel it off, flip it over. Something like that. Does not feel that promising. Let's see. You just unscrew that, and I don't know. I think what I'm going to do though, it's better, is I'm going to unscrew the carb and flip it upside down so that we can have gravity on our side holding that seal. I just hit you in the eye? Sorry about that. I'm not sure which way we had that seal. I would say that way is the upside down way. I got stretched out taking it off, unfortunately. It's a little thin right there too. Feels better. At least it doesn't rack from side to side. I guess I could fill the float bowl up. Some gas. Shake it around a little bit. Amen. Let me try that, put some fuel in it, see if it PPs. Just wash that around a little. Looks like it's got it. It's good. So let's see if that ground wire, the kill wire, is any good. Let's go throw a meter on it. What do we want? We want ohms. Let's throw that where you can see it. Not that I can't move you guys, right? And we ground them together, should go. That's how it does. Let's go and find somewhere on the engine attached to. And then we have a kill wire. Got a weird bunch of resistance. There it goes. Let's go flip the switch a couple of times. Where is it? Open. Close. Close with, like, let's run that switch a couple of times. I need to see it. Open. I don't know if it's connections or is it just a piece of crap. I'm gonna say the switch is kind of iffy. It works and then it doesn't work. Like right now, there it goes. Now it's working. And you move it around, it's kind of eh. Yeah, I would say it's questionable. So you follow that wire and around up into here. It probably could also just be the way the switch is grounded to the body of it, judging by all that rust that's on there. So let's look into that a little bit more. Let's get that guy off of there. Right tool for the right job, as always. Should we grab a wrench? Might have to, I think it's so rusty. Probably what I should do is put a meter on the switch. Get that guy out of there. Something's like rusted right into the Throw a meter on it up there. Let's see if it does what it's supposed to be doing at the switch. See if we've got a bad switch or just... Alright, we can... around to the outside of it. Let me go throw this on the other end of the wire. There you go. Everything's all tangled up. Let's see. We want to go to the body of it. Still kind of showing a bunch of resistance though. Open. Yeah, that switch has. Right now it's open all together. You move it around. That switch is crappy. I'm sure we could probably soak it in oil or something. Actually, no, because that still had the wire in it. Let's go do it. We'll check it 37 times different ways before we come up with a conclusion. I think the switch is okay. It's making me a liar right there. We will look and see if we have another switch. If we don't, we're going to go shoot some goo down on the inside of that just to help those contacts out. We're going to go clean everything up and we're going to run a new wire. Make sure we get a good ground up here. Alright, so those are all kind of goobered up and greased and re-tie wrapped and connected. Down around, I shot some oil inside the switch. If you push the switch down, it'll open a cavity on top because this is spring loaded up, so you can push it in. I'll also show you. You push that in and then you can get oil in around it down into the contact points. So that should be good. And it's rewired. I used the same wire over. It seemed like it was in decent shape. Ran it around a screwdriver. Back here, you turn it into a spring. And then again, more grease on the butt connectors. And back to the coil. So one thing that, after I turned the camera off, I thought about is this thing has rear suspension. It's not fixed. The rear engine mount is not fixed to the body. And it all pivots right here. And it pivots on the shocks. Well, the shocks have rubber bushings on them, so that does not make a very good transfer to this cage. And this is a pivot point with rust in them. So between here and here has to go through this hinge. So that may be part resistance also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a self tapper somewhere on it, and I'll run a self drill it into there, probably drill it into here, run a ground wire across these two just so that we get a better connection across this union. So I fast forwarded on that throttle a little bit and we're really cobbling. We'd bent over the tab up here, shot oil down the original cable, 2 tie wraps to hold it in place. Then we go to where the regular location was. The spring goes down into, and then I curled the spring around the end of the cable. We'll see how that holds up, and then trying to get a straight line for the pullback, and we just made it, bent up a bracket to attach a spring to get tension in the right direction. And now if you work the gas pedal, it should be full throttle. Yeah, that should be all the way off. That's good, but good thing we got a functioning emergency shut-off switch, power switch. You might need it. Ain't nothing that a hammer and some lube couldn't fix. Seat's now adjustable. So I think we're all back together. That's the seat all the way back, and that's where I set the motor up, so it should have enough clearance. And us big kids are a little on the tall side. We need the seat all the way back. I think we are good to go. Everything's buttoned back up. Looks like the throttle fits in there fairly nicely. The brake I just lubed up. It seems like it locks the band up. Where is it? Seems like it locks the band up. I don't know what it's got in there for material, but I guess we're gonna go find out. I think we are to the point where we can throw some gas in it, fire it up. See what it does. It might have a weak spark issue. When I was checking the plug, putting it back together, making sure I had, you know, the switch on and off, whether the spark was good, it was a little iffy, a little on the weak side. But it was sparking to the plug was sparking more to the chassis, to the metal, than it was across the arc. So it may be just a bad plug. But let's go dump some gas in. Make sure we got no leaks and give it a shot. So we might have to hit the gas pedal to get it in a range where it'll run, but let's throw it on choke because it's just at idle now, you know. I'm not sure what we're gonna get. A little less. See if we can find a sweet spot. Yeah, we're gonna have to probably put something. I should make something that. Because what you're really gonna do is when it's on the ground, you're gonna be reaching your foot up to the gas pedal and pushing it and just giving it a pull. I guess. How about we design a well-calibrated screwdriver? Let's see if that gave it a little bit of gas. Let's try it again. Runs. Let's go and see if we can bump that idle speed up a little. Where is it? Here's that brass guy, right? There. Where'd you go? Right there. Let's go and give her like on it, but not on it. Anyway, let's give her half a turn. Here you go. Give her a choke. Hit gas pedal. Yeah, this guy got turned up a lot more than that. I'll have to turn that down later. Not too high. Might need to work on the brakes a little. That was close. I think we got to fix the brakes. So I popped that rear tire off. Here's the brake band. Brake pedal pulls that cable, works that band, stops the drum. Well, the problem is that guy broke and it's unbending itself around. I don't know if there's going to be enough meat on there. I was trying to maybe clean up and we'll weld the washer onto it. Back on. Not sure about that yet. I don't have one of these, so we gotta kind of work with what we got. So what's your thoughts if we take and loop a cable through there? So we have a piece of cable, we go up, we loop it through, and we come back to this cable, and we use two cable clamps on it to hold it. Something like that. Old dog run wire. So if we loop that around there and come back to this one, I would think that would hold. A whole lot better than that. Give it a shot. And something like that. I think that'll hold up pretty good. I was debating whether to take the jacket off of it. I figure it'll be good for that pivot point there. Plus it's been pinched like that before. I don't think it's really going to cause it to slide out of there. I think that's pretty tough. I'll stab the pedal a couple times real hard though, just to make sure, but I don't think so. Yeah, I was trying to whip it around in a donut in the driveway because it's a posy rear. If you try steering the front end, just snow plows, you know. But if you lock the rear end up, you can whip it right around and make a sharper turn. I tried doing that, but there was nothing left. So easy to take out the planter. Running out of gas. Go for it. It's almost out of gas. think we might be. Yeah, there's some in there. Something's causing it to stutter. That's a blast. I think the carb, I'm gonna try pulling the bolt down one more time. It might have a little bit of water or something in it. Shouldn't, but or dirt. I don't think it's, I don't know if it's spark cut out or fuel. I think it's fuel, but we'll get it figured out. Works good. Now that the brakes work, you can spin it around on itself. So I think we're gonna leave it for this video for now. Call it a wrap. And it's quite enjoyable. We'll bring it over to where the real property is, and we can open it up in the field instead of trying to watch out for all the lawn ornaments. All right, guys, so with that, we're gonna go wrap it up. I want to thank all for hanging out and having some fun in the garage and in the yard. Till then, see ya.
Hey guys, it's the VW, and we're keeping an eye on my friend Musty One right now. There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah, two things. Needs a seatbelt, and you gotta get some noodles or something to go cover you because you whack your elbows on them when you're into it. Other than that, you do quite well. Stuck? Gotta go backwards or no? Yeah, I don't think so. That's not the way he went. Yeah. That way. You stuck? Lost his gas tank. Open the container there. The first step might be a little rough. Damn kids.